Well, a very good afternoon and welcome back to the Traktor Arena here in Chelyabinsk, Russia. It's the fourth day of the Judo World Championships and we've come to the final block. And this is where the real business end begins. Here's Annette Böhm. Good afternoon, Annette.
Good afternoon.
Looking forward to this?
Absolutely, there's a German.
Okay, no bias there then. Tina Trsteniak of Slovenia faces Martina Trajdos in this opening contest, a repechage contest. It'll be Trsteniak in the white judogi, Trajdos in blue. This for a place in the bronze medal match. Kamila Minakawa in the middle of that shot there. Pity we couldn't have seen a little bit more of her.
Yep.
And then we had a brief look at Levan Jojoliani, who was sitting next to David Kevkishvili, the president of the Georgian Judo Federation. Here are the two fighters then. Crowd shots out of the way and down to business.
Well, Martina had a good start at this World Championships. She won against the North Korean, then against the Austrian, and lost then against the Japanese. Now she's in the repechage.
There's no secret to the Slovenian style. We know that it's very combative and aggressive. It's just a question of whether Trajdos can deal with that. Stay nice and upright, don't get pulled in and pulled down. Nice and tall. Got nice big leg techniques.
Yes. Uchimata, the Ochigari, left-sided. Always a good body posture for her attacks. Makes it difficult for the others to come through. But as you just said, the Slovenians are well known for their high speed in the fight, moving and moving all the time. And if you're not careful enough, then it can be dangerous, getting penalties for being passive. So Martina Trajdos must be active, attacking.
Oh, there was an opportunity there for the Uchimata.
Yes.
She just stood flat-footed for a moment, Trsteniak, and Trajdos wasn't able to launch. But she had both hands on her. It was nice and square, just the position that you want. Didn't have to come around. Feet were nice and square on. Just didn't trigger at the right time.
Tries to turn her over there.
Trajdos just getting the better of the first exchanges. Yeah, this makes it difficult for us because Trsteniak got the penalty. Oh! She went straight for the grab there, the bear hug.
Now she got the left arm from Martina Trajdos. She's looking for an arm lock.
Needs to get that. Well, she managed to get the leg off anyway, so.
Slipped out of that. So this little Shido there for the Slovenian.
Minute 45 left to go. The sting has gone out of that initial charge from Trsteniak. That's what the Slovenian fighters normally come up with at the beginning.
Looking there for the arm lock again. And Martina must be very careful now. Gets closer now, the Slovenian.
She's going to have to tap out. The Slovenian's making the mistake by turning here. She turned the wrong way. She wanted to go to her left. And then he eventually came back to the left. She was going off to the right and giving her the chance to get out. She eventually went back to the left the right way, but sloppy attack, got caught, left the arm up there.
Yeah. Didn't pay attention.
Yeah, lost the chance
German
for the bronze medal. So it'll be Tersteniak who gets the opportunity to fight for bronze. Taidos has to settle for a 7th place.
Yes.
7th place at the World Championships?
Well, I think she's not that happy.
No, no, she would have liked to have won that one.
Especially when more is possible. There was the attack of Uchimata. Then she stopped, lost her grip, and didn't pay attention on her arms, where her arms are.
She's more concerned with getting the right arm down. And the left arm is left hanging up there. Got to be trying to push that leg off. Tersten's just left leg. Just get hold of that.
Right
push
in that
up.
second.
Yeah, yeah. And that mentioned the disappointment that Martina Taidos will feel at having lost out. It's not just the loss, it's also the way that she went out there.
Yes.
Arm locked when she shouldn't have got into that position. That was a mistake, and then not able to defend against it.
Yeah, and she started so well against the North Korean. That was a really battle.
Gold medalist yesterday, Udaka Nae, on the right-hand side of that shot in the red tracksuit top. Otto Kneidinger. The striped tie and greying hair.
Yeah.
At least he's got some to go grey. Zhang Wen doing her homework. I said that she was a student. Well, she's done for the day and having to tidy up things with the with the studies. You don't want to fall behind. Peter Frieser was in the crowd there, the president of the German Judo Federation. Coming up next, semi-final in the under 63 kilo category, the reigning world champion Yardin Jerby of Israel faces Tashiro Miku of Japan. It'll be Jerby in the white judogi and Tashiro in blue.
Yardin Gerby is still on the road to defend her title from last year.
Yeah, she's confounded a lot of people who thought that she wasn't going to be able to get even this far. But she's the current world champion and she's one fight away from being in the final again. must be such a thing for Jerby to probably have questioned herself over a period of time. Am I really the world champion? Am I really the world champion? And now, in the semi-final of the World Championships, she must be saying, hey, all that stuff that went on before when I couldn't win a Grand Prix or I couldn't win a Grand Slam, hey, I'm in the semi-final of the World Championships.
Yes.
And I'm not going to give up my title easily. Just lost contact with the hands. Shaped nicely and aggressively right from the outset. Jerby. That's where she likes to be.
It's close to the hip then.
Yeah. Toshiro just
technique.
Bent over a little bit. Brings her own Uchimata. Yeah, that will do.
This is a dangerous defense when you lift your leg up.
Cannot step over that kind of Uchimata.
No.
So lucky not to have gone over for Ippon. She's lucky to still be in the contest.
Yeah.
But we were talking with our guest commentator David McFall earlier, and he was saying that Toshiro and Jerby are just throwing machines, so one of them is going to go.
Yeah. They kept technique there.
No leg involved. Good to see Jerby with the Uchimata, or Haramaki Komi maybe. Jerby trailing by Wazari. Nice and upright, both fighters.
And the left arm from the Japanese determines the space between them. Keeps her on distance. Got a good control there. It was a nice battle at the edge.
Jerby's gripping puts her in a good position, and then all of a sudden it's Toshiro who seems to come up with the first attack.
Oh, that was a good effort. And immediately the Japanese takes their chance for Nevasa.
Oh, a slip, a real slip! Ooh. And now Jerby has got the Osaikomi on Toshiro Miku.
What a surprise. Clever. What a chance. And she immediately recognized that's her chance. That was a tough fight.
A single slip by the Japanese. Toshiro Miku puts her out. Jerby capitalized that, pounced on it like a cat, and there she was. Yep, I was smart enough. And that's smart.
That was absolutely smart. You don't see this very often, that somebody uses the action, the beginning action from a Japanese in Nevasa. 90% it ends like the Japanese hold their opponents.
End of story.
Yes. That was great.
Yarin Jerby, current world champion, winning out over Toshiro Miku in that semi-final, and Derby will fight for the World Championship title again. And that final will be a repeat of last year's final, because she'll face Clarisse Agbegninu of France. Here's the attempted turnover. Let's see where it goes wrong.
Yeah.
This is good up to here. And the right leg.
Yeah.
The right leg. Toshiro Miku's right leg doesn't push Derby over and leaves her on top. Have to have another look at that. But the Kamishio Gatami, and then, yeah, Kamishio Gatami, Derby finishes off with.
The coach.
He liked that, didn't he? He's been like that all day. We come now to the semi-final in the under 81 kilo category. Ivan Nifontov of Russia faces Victor Penalba of Brazil. It'll be Nifontov in a white judogi and Penalba in blue. There are the hopes for a Russian medal today, resting with the former world champion, Ivan Nifontov. Victor Penalba could silence the crowd here.
Oh, yes.
Or it could be that Ivan Nifontov will set this place alight. Another packed crowd in the Tractor Arena. What on earth is going to happen come the weekend?
Yes.
There won't be a single seat in here come the weekend, I'm sure. Nifontov it is who picks up the penalty.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he'll let the Shido trouble him that much. He's got really good throwing skills. Confident in his judo. He was just 22 when he won the World Championships. Seems like a little bit longer than 5 years ago, but time flies, they say time flies.
Yes.
It certainly has. Bronze medalist at the London Olympics as well. So just a break in 10 and 11 really, when things didn't go entirely his own way, and then back on track for the Olympic Games in London, and then here in 2014 fighting for a bronze medal at the World Championships. That was a poor effort from Nifontov, though.
Too slow, too far away. Looks like a Judo, the second one then for Nifontov.
I think that was for passivity. You can't quite see it from our commentary position, but there's a second Judo on the board.
Does a better grip now with his right hand, with the collar. Now he also must attack, like that. Uchimata! Almost countered there, because he broke up too early. Gave the Brazilian the chance to counter. Oh.
Nice Satemi Waza.
Yes. Wow. Absolutely right, Quazzari. That was a good one.
Perfect timing from Nifontov. Feeling the attack from Penalba and then taking it over. Even the coach knew it was Wazzari. We all did, didn't we? So too did the referee. Inside the last minute now, Nifontov going to hold on to this lead. Penalba, everything to do.
Oops. Check it.
Oh, went for the Koso Tagaki.
Yes. And that's what I like. You are leading and you don't stop with competing. You don't need to risk anything, but he just attacks and attacks. He goes on.
Coach showing some signs of frustration. That was the last chance, I think. Not going to worry about it now. Has a look at the clock on that side and has a look at the clock on this side. And time runs out. And Ivan Nifontov takes the bronze here.
Yeah. Yes. So we will see the Russian later on in the fight for the third place.
Brazilians aren't having the best time of it, and Penalba missing out there on the chance to fight for a bronze medal. Here are some highlights from that contest.
And now, here to complete the semi-finals for men under 81 kilo.
There's the semi-final in the under 81 kilo category. The current world champion, Loic Pietri of France, faces Antoine Valois-Fortier of Canada.
So another world champion who's still got a possibility to retain his title. It's not very often.
This morning we spoke about the possibility that Clarisse Agbegnenu would face Yarden Jerby in the final of the under 63 kilo category. That's happened. And we spoke about the possibility that Loic Pietri could face Avtandil Chirikishvili in the final of the men's under 81 kilo category, a repeat of last year's final. And that is still possible. Pietri in the white judogi, Valois-Fortier in blue.
And a nice Kochigari attack from Pietri for the Canadian on the ground, but no score because he landed on his front side. Nice attack there from the Canadian, just couldn't finish that movement.
Both fighters just settling down now.
Rika.
Yeah, rather unattractive. Sutemi was her attempt there. He just tried to drag him over there with no real...
No leg was in...
no finesse.
Yeah.
Nick Gill, the Canadian coach, just being asked to keep things quiet for a little while. Just getting tied up in Valois Fortier's feet. Pietri yet to launch one of his Seoinage efforts.
A deep Ouchigari attempt there from Valois Fortier.
Just missed out. Couldn't connect with the left leg of Pietri. Bit of a gap between the two in the end, and there's the Seoinage effort, but it's a weak one.
Yeah. Uncompleted.
Valois Fortier blocks it without too much trouble. Pietri picking up a passivity penalty.
There's a better Sumigaeshi attempt from the Canadian. That was a good attempt there from the French.
It looked for a moment as though it had failed, but then he came back in and it looked as though he would have some success, but then it collapsed.
Yep.
All within a split second.
Oh, he almost brought himself into danger with this outside attack.
He's beginning to look a little bit desperate, isn't he?
Yes.
Pietri now, with a minute and 20 odd left to go.
Until that point, he really doesn't get success with his own techniques. The very good ones. This over-rotated Seoinage.
Well, it may be a second or so whilst they tidy up some little bit of blood that's come up on Pietri's lip, I think it is. Nothing serious. Tidy it up reasonably quickly and then we'll get back underway.
That was a good idea, but too late and without any grip. Combination between Seoinage, a forward technique, and the Ouchigari backward. Just a little bit too late.
Still a little over a minute left to go. Pietri beginning to put the pressure on. It's a score that he needs, really. Time running out for the Frenchman. You can see his world title slipping away here.
Oh, yes.
He looked hurt there, Pietri. Exactly where he doesn't want to be.
On the ground.
with the
Yes.
clock ticking away. This is it then. He's going to get one more shot at this, is Pietri,
Yeah.
and he's got to make it tell. That was it. It's not going to happen now. It'll be Antoine Valois-Fortier of Canada, just in case you hadn't seen it. The Antoine Valois-Fortier of Canada to compete for the gold medal in the under 81 kilo category. Loic Pietri's reign as world champion is about to come to an end. It's got probably an hour or so before there will be a new world champion, and it'll either be Valois-Fortier or Avtandil Chirikishvili.
Both fighters will be in the final for medal 81 kilo.
Well, we almost had a repeat of the finals from Rio, both of them, the under 63 kilo category and the under 81. We are going to have a repeat of one of them. It's the under 63 kilo category. Yarin Gerbi of Israel will face Clarisse Agbegnenu of France, and one of the two from the under 81 kilo category last year, Avtandil Chirikishvili, is in the final, and he will face a French speaker, but it won't be Loic Pietri and it won't be Alain Schmidt.
That's right.
Because
Well,
he's just done him.
you know,
there.
the funny thing is we could have had the possibility of an all-French final for the 81 kilos, and neither one of the French came through.
We could have had the possibility of an all-French speaking final without the Frenchman, with only one Frenchman in, because the other one is a Canadian and he speaks French. So
In either case, didn't quite work out that way.
but the 81 kilo category final will feature a French speaker. It'll be Antoine Valois-Fortier. He'll face Avtandil Chirikishvili. David McFall, what did you see in there that caught your eye?
Well, obviously, Tashido just absolutely handed a silver or gold medal to Yarden Gerbi. Elliot Gerbi, good heads-up play, but Tashido in that turnover, she basically had the position. First thing, going on Nawaz against Gerbi may not have been a good idea when you're ahead by Wazadi, even if you are confident. Second thing is, she tied up the legs, and then when she reached over the armpit to make the turn, she let the legs go and basically gave the entire match to Gerbi.
Annette Berman myself said the same thing. It was the mistake with a leg that allowed the turnover fails, and you haven't got control of the leg. Your opponent is going to end up on top of you.
Well,
and
you're
in
pulling your
control.
opponent
Yeah.
right on top
top.
of you, right? You're doing that. The idea is without the legs, the opponent cannot square up again or get a perpendicular position because you're both parallel. You just turn them. It was, yeah. And I was thinking about this. Kido Shinji pulled that turnover twice in Paris on the way to a third place finish. When you do it correctly, it works. That kind of mistake, Yarden Gerbi is not going to let go. So she still has a chance at the medal, Tashido, but she'll be kicking herself for a long time for that one.
6 fights to bring you. 2 bronze medal matches and then the final in the under 63 kilo category, and then the same thing, 2 bronze medal matches and the final in the under 81 kilo category. First of the medal matches features Edvija Gwend of Italy, and she's up against Tashiro Miku of Japan.
Well, let's see if Tashido is distracted or whether she can regain her focus, get her game back, and get herself on a podium. Always dangerous when you make kind of error like that. That sticks to your mind. You still got another match to go. Gwyn looks tough. She's looked tough all day.
Chiefs in the house. IJF President, Mr. Marius Visa, and got to add in there that he's the President of Sport Accord as well. Come up through cheering crowd.
That's right.
First of the bronze medal matches in the under 63 kilo category. Gwend in the white judogi, Tashiro in blue.
Tashido comes in, and just like she did with Gerbi, enters with that Uchimata right away. Didn't really get the sleeve, so very easy for Gwyn to block that out.
little look at the Ashiwaza there, but it didn't really upset Gwend. Managed to move backward, avoid it, and then land on a front.
Well, it would appear that Tashido has kind of regained her composure. She seems to be in this match. So it's little exchanges of Ashiwaza. And she looked at Kosoto.
Trying to go off to the left there, but she was quickly off balance, wasn't she?
She usually uses that. I think she was using that as a feint to set up the Haraigoshi on the other side. That's what we've seen earlier. And there was the leg coming over from Haraigoshi. We're having a look there for Uchimata for a second. And look at this. This is the leg lock up that she blew it with Gerby, so she's still going to the well, and you know.
There's the, yeah, she's trying to set it up. Here it is again. Get the top half tidied up. There you go.
You know, this is probably was her go-to
yeah,
move.
that was the plan.
And the thing is probably in the nerves, the heat of the competition, she just let it go a little bit loose, and Gerby was right on top of it.
Just as that turn came, Gerby realized that the leg wasn't trapped, and that she could go on top, and then did.
That's what happened.
I mean, it looked so simple there, didn't it?
Well,
it really did.
And I know it's got to be your go-to move, because you figure you've got a gray area in your mind, you know, if you did it, blew it, but if you knew it works 99% of the time, and you just blew it in the semifinal.
Well, the good thing for both of these fighters is that to some degree they'll see this as a success. Remember, they were wiped out in the under 63 kilo category last year, so as far as the final is concerned. So no loss there really, maybe no improvement. They've medalled here. Toshiro has medalled, and Gwend finishes with a 5th place at the World Championships. Not necessarily.
Look at her, she's upset.
Yeah,
Toshiro is still very upset.
You know,
she medaled, but she, you know,
this is a fight that she had to go out there and do. She didn't want to do it.
Right.
But she went out there and showed that she's got enough about her to come back after, you know, that
but you
that
gotta
loss.
feel with that move,
Yeah.
she's going, that's exactly what the plan was against Gerby. That was exactly the way she wanted that match to end.
Well, Gwend won't be entirely disappointed with a 5th place finish at the World Championships. Nice packet of points there for her. Take a long time for her to earn those sorts of points. Battering around on the European circuit. So good for her and good for Toshiro Miku. The next bronze medal match is between Tina Trstenjak of Slovenia. She faces Anne-Laura Bellard. And it'll be Trstenjak in the white judogi and Bellard in blue. I don't know how much you've seen of these two today,
Trstenjak
David.
I've seen. I mean, I watched some match with her with Annette, and you know, she comes out guns blazing, but sometimes it's a little bit too rough, a little bit, you know, scrappy.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
I don't think there's any real need for it. You want to establish yourself and make a statement and everything, but you do that in a much more attractive way. It is an unattractive opening gambit from not just Trstenjak, but several of the other Slovenian fighters, that they look as though they're mauling. Now, they've got good judo. All the girls that are well schooled and have got good judo, the one part that doesn't look good is the smack 'em up, bang 'em up I'm going to show you who I am at the beginning of every contest.
I think the issue with that is you go up against a good competitor, and you're going to give them these openings, and they're going to take care of it. And I believe the last match she did go down very early, didn't she? I think that was against. That would be in maybe the pool final or the repechage.
Repechage contest, she obviously won because she's here now, isn't she?
Yes.
Not unless she lost in the semi-final.
In any case, it can work out for her, but somebody strong.
She defeated Martina Traidos in
Right.
the repechage contest, and she came out, you know, as she usually does there.
Yeah, well, she got caught by Gerby. Jordan Gerby. Because she came out kind of, you know, this kind of scrappy kind of style, and Gerby just sort of bid her time and then took advantage of some sloppiness. Task at hand right now, white working on blue. Looks like, yeah, she's looking for a Juji Katame. So no major scores so far, no penalties. Just a pretty even match. I'm sure they face each other a number of times in European contests. And now the first penalty goes at the blue. We're going to make a poke or a contact lens. A contact lens out.
On paper, this looks like a really awkward and difficult contest to watch. Both fighters have got styles that leave you, as a commentator, searching for descriptions that won't be too disparaging to the fighters involved. That's the best way that I could put it.
Yes, being kind with raw and scrappy in the case of the Slovenian. Angular, perhaps, in the case of Bellard.
Well, if you look at the setup, you look at the gripping, you look at all sorts of things that she does during the contests, it doesn't make for easy viewing. You know, the whole shape of the contest, overall, because you're taking into consideration what the picture that both fighters paint, their collective picture is untidy,
Right.
scrappy.
Well, I look at Bellard and I see an awkward version of Pavia, maybe. Pavia uses these angles and things like that, but she makes it work in a unique way that sometimes is difficult to watch, but sometimes actually is quite nice to watch.
Bellard is effective in her unorthodox approach.
There you go. That's your right. Unorthodox.
Testaniak with the Yuko on the board for that takedown then. There it is.
Uranage.
They may want to watch this one again.
We didn't really have an angle ourselves. There we go. It's waved off. Well done.
We're just looking at it to see the landing. The landing is going too far away from the impact point. I'm sure that there's some impact point there, but not long enough and not strong enough. But I think there is now. Tersteniak
Long enough and strong enough.
on the
Belt
board
or no
there.
belt? Just as her kit was falling apart.
Yeah.
Little Koichi.
Yeah. Tap, down you go. See, now that's where the overhead cam is good. That was a really good picture there.
Look at the position of the hands like that. That looks like
That's terrible, yeah.
go no kata.
35 seconds left to go.
Folks are more familiar with the Judo kata, but there is a go no kata, which you show of strength, if you will, or stiffness, but something along those lines. The opposite of the softness. It's that hand position. And now Bellard is fully engaged, but it's too late. Good working day for the Slovenian.
Yep, managed to do enough to take the contest. I don't think you're going to see this one in the Hall of Fame.
One-on-one Ippons.
Yeah. Tina Tersteniak of Slovenia it is. He takes the second of the bronze medals. Toshiro Miku of Japan taking the other. Let's have a look at some of the highlights from this contest.
That was it. There's the highlight. A couple different angles. Good job of driving after catching that foot in the inside there. And a smile.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, final for the women under 63 kilos.
Which brings us to a repeat of the Rio final.
The same final as 1 year before.
And the stadium announcer announces the exact same thing I did. It's the obvious comment.
Coming up next, the final of the under 63 kilo category. Clarisse Agbegnenu of France, the world #1, faces Yarden Gerbi, the world #2, and the current world champion. And as David McFall and Luis Torres have said, this is a repeat of last year's World Championship final from Rio.
Well, if it was boxing or something like that, they'd have some fancy term for this, right? The War Part 2. But actually, they're, as we said last year, they're very good friends. One of the images you can't forget from Rio was Gerbi looking on in concern as Agbegnenu was being kind of brought back, not to life, but being
Yeah.
resuscitated. I'm not quite sure the word for Capo after she was choked out. Well, we know we won't see that one again today. But Clarisse actually has been doing some newaza today, but I don't think she's going to challenge Gerbi on the ground if she has her chance.
That would be really interesting to see what would happen if they went to newaza again. Would Agbegninu engage and go for it, or we should do a runner.
And a good Uchimata attempt there by Gerby to start things up. And it's Agbegninu who scores first, getting this big Yuko.
Big hips.
Yep. Koshiwaza all the way.
Yuko for you?
Yeah.
Just about,
Yeah.
yeah? Just
Then
about.
she's tossing her again. This is looking like classic Agbegninu. All she needs is to get the big Uranage.
You see, the danger for me here is that Agbegninu just gets that
Another
little
one.
bit too brave and makes a slip. You know, you cannot get to this level without having taken not 1 or 2 knocks, but plenty. Really hard knocks as well. And in there, you've got to have the ability to get back up when you're down.
That's
and
right.
the harder you knock Gerby, the sooner that is going to click in and say, hey, I'm not giving up.
Well, that's what happened. She was down by Waza Adi.
Yeah, yeah. She got
Came back. Yeah,
galvanized and
that's right.
came up beautifully, didn't she?
Keeps her composure. Not that
She's
time.
not going to be able to do it.
Not that time. And Agbegninu gets revenge for Rio.
Yeah, that's what it is on the face. It's my turn now. The thing is, they're such good friends. Away from
That's right.
away from the tatami.
That's right.
They are, I mean, really the best of friends, like holidaying together and everything.
Well, they'll think back at this on the beach in a
Yeah,
month
yeah.
or two and then have a cocktail and laugh. I got one, you got one. Let's see about next year. The rubber match.
They'll probably say, hey, as long as we don't, you know, let anyone else in, we can just keep this wrapped up between us. Look at that. You know. One for you, one for me. One for you.
You figure it was so hard for her last year,
Yeah.
getting all the final, and then losing that way and getting choked out that way. She was carrying that for a year.
She came back and dished out a beating, though, didn't she?
I mean, again, here's
Wasn't in
another
it when
fighter.
Gerby wasn't in it.
Another fighter with this spring, right? Paris especially, right? Bam, bam, bam. It's good. Nice story. Gerby had the hands free, but just
Yeah.
couldn't even cartwheel out of that. Right?
Look at the position of the referee. Watch. Look at her looking at the back.
That's it.
That's why she's here.
That's exactly right.
You know? When you're the best, you get the best jobs. The best job is either the Olympic Games or the World Championships. And Ioana Babiu is one of the best. And it just looks so easy. Making that judgment looks so easy. You want to be able to see the landing. She was right there. Good. You can say it was lucky, but hey, she's there.
That's right.
She's
She
in the
knows the
spot where she
position
needs to be.
Exactly.
She was. Good one. Okay, coming up next, the fights in the under 81 kilo category. All the medal fights here, the 3 of them. And the first of which is Nagase Takanori of Japan. He faces the current world champion for another few minutes or so, Loic Pietri of, well, I've got to give it to him, haven't I? It is. Loic Pietri. He's still the world champion because we don't have another. But the hourglass has been turned over. That sand is running out pretty quick. Very soon, there'll be another name on the trophy. Loic Pietri could stand on the medal podium again, it won't be in the gold medal position this time around.
In my opinion, Nagase Takanori has done better than I would have expected. You know, he had a chance to get farther. He didn't make it, but I think this is a good result. Will give you a bronze medal today.
Not least of all if you consider what's happened in this weight category over the last few years. They've been blown away.
That's right.
So, yeah.
But he's still got to beat Pietri.
Yeah, he's still got to beat the world champion.
Yeah, he's still got to. And Nagase working on some newaze here. I'm not sure if Pietri wants to remain on the ground with Nagase. Did much better on his feet. Nagase didn't look particularly attractive there.
And a Yuko.
Yes. Kind of slow moving counter. Just kind of bulldogs him over the top. And they're giving a Wazari now for that.
Wow. Well, you may get to see a replay. Well, at some stage we'll see
Right,
the replay,
right.
but
Just not really attentive on the part of Nagase there. Just sort of went into the throw and stopped, and then let Pietri just roll him right over.
well, it's open up time now for Nagase, isn't it? Wazari down. World Championship bronze medal at stake.
Yeah.
Time to start looking at some options here.
No guts, no glory. So here it's not that was
No.
not the replay we were looking
He
for.
just missed with a little Koji stab there to Nagase. Ochi
That's
this
what's
time.
better.
There
But
comes
it
Nagase.
turns out, yes.
That's a lovely effort, isn't it? That's really nice.
We'll see. I think we'll see a little bit tomorrow from a different Japanese. I don't think he's going to score it. They gave it a Yuko. I think that's generous.
No, well done. Well done, David McFall. Good call.
I get one once in a while.
That was a good call.
Pietri
Tries the
winds
spin
it up.
move. Didn't come off though.
Well, he's got to feel Nagase after that Ochi. Perhaps he's not done yet. Lots of time left.
That big target on Pietri's right foot. So they're saying, come and tap me. And Nagase hasn't gone there once. He's
Pietri's
played
did
him,
a good job of fighting off that right hand and wants to come deep on him.
he's
and
played
he
him
might get a
really
penalty,
fairly,
right?
hasn't he? I hope he does. Another good call, David. That badge is beginning to sit well on your left breast. IJF referee.
Are you checking out my breast, Sheldon?
Well, just had a quick look to see whether there was space there to take it.
This was the counter. Which the logo just shot at the main shot of the landing, but doesn't really matter at this point. But Wazadi is up on the board.
Got away with that one as well.
Getting the benefit of a doubt.
Well, if there's any move to block an effort, and they normally say that that's a valid attack because you had to block it. If there's nothing to block, there's no attack. So it's one way of working out whether it's a false attack or not.
And there's going to be another penalty here. Pietri just keeps tearing off Nagase every time Nagase tries to get a grip. It's one thing to prevent the cam from coming over. It's another thing to keep ripping the grips without showing any positive judo at the same time. He tries to sell the twister.
So he knows exactly where he is. He steps off and then immediately puts that attack in.
Well, several competitors have figured that one out.
Half a minute left to go. Yep. Well, spotted that one.
24 seconds.
Tried to mug him there, didn't he?
Well, at this point, he's got to look aggressive, just so he can't afford that last one.
No Ashi was it from Nagase to set anything up. That's the thing I think was missing. Go on with the Uchimata. You may as well go for it. One or other of them would have been worth going for. The Uchimata or throw everything at the Ojigari. You may have got counted if he'd gone for the Ouchi, because that's what he was waiting for. But
he's down by Wazadi.
Go, go.
He's down by Wazadi.
I'd have gone for the Uchimata. But he was afraid of getting turned.
Doesn't matter.
It
doesn't matter. You've got 10 seconds left.
Go. He didn't. So Pietri will be on the podium again at the World Championships, but this time it'll be bronze. And Nagase of Japan has to settle for 5th place.
And that last sequence just shows there's this kind of over carefulness sometimes on the part of Nagase. With Krishnavilli, he did the entire match, but here, 10 seconds, you got to pull the trigger. Especially, maybe it was a Yuko, I'd be a little more conservative. When you got a Wazadi up there, you got to go.
Yeah.
Or when your opponent has a Wazadi up there. That's it. That was it right there. The carelessness when he stopped the throw and just didn't do anything and let. Here we go. And he lets this bulldog move. I don't know what you want to call that, Waza.
Bulldog move.
It's a wrestling term.
He hasn't got a lot of choice here, has he, the referee? Here's an attack from Nagase that fails. Loic Pietri wants to counter him with some kind of teiwaza, because it's the hands that turn him over. So doesn't use any legs in there.
Uki-otoshi?
I don't know. Some kind
Usually when they have that little hand drive, there's nothing in the hips and the legs.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what you can throw up there.
Okay, we'll toss that out there then.
You folks at home have any better ideas on what to call that one?
Coming up next, the second of the bronze medal matches. Ivan Nifontov of Russia faces Alan Schmidt of France, it'll be Nifontov in the white judogi and Schmidt in blue.
Well, this crowd is certainly into this one. Nifontov is a very popular judoka, not just because he's Russian, but I think, you know.
Yes, you're quite right about him being popular. Got nice judo. He did it when he was young. He won, 5 years ago. So he's still got that going for him. But the Russians really need this. They've ended every day with some hardware, so it would really make for a terrific World Championships if Nifontov were able to take a medal here.
Slides off that attack. Schmidt's contest against Chelyabinsk was pretty ugly there. Just nothing really going.
Yeah. It's a real battle for grips
I
here.
was going to say. Pardon the long pause of silence, but there's not much to talk about right now.
Well, the only good thing about this is that they're both looking to grip positively. They both want to find a grip from which they can work from, rather than the negative gripping, which is closing down your opponent. Just managed to go onto his front, whilst not being able to do anything yourself. Now that's negative gripping.
Yeah.
But
Nice
hasn't been the
Oji.
case here. David.
Nice Ojigari attempt there by White. Just lost the grip. Lost the control. He's got this strange, he was crossing his hands, right? He's got a very strange grip there. We saw that earlier today.
Russian coach was screaming out Yuko and then realized immediately that it wasn't one. He would have liked very much for it to have been one, but it wasn't there. Nor is the turnover.
There's something about your opponent falling flat in his stomach. Maybe a little bit of an angle, but not much.
Shido brings a slightly different color to the contest, or at least the scoreboard anyway. Couldn't come up with the turn.
Definitely seeing some throws from White, just not finishing them off.
27 years old now, Nifontov. He's still got a couple of years in him.
Seems to me a bit early for him to try to be burning off Newaza time, but
That's true.
maybe he's looking for a breather. Slightly better attack there by Schmidt.
Tried to give it a Pietri look.
Yes.
Oh, possible turnover here.
Crowd liked it.
Strong with the left elbow and with the left leg. Now the leg isn't in there any longer. But
He lost
the top
grip.
half, yeah.
Doesn't matter.
30 odd seconds came off the clock there.
As I say,
Huge amount of time.
big old lump of time being torn off. But, you know, if he had a Yuko, I would see it. But, you know, being ahead just by a penalty, I don't know if I would want to take my chances lopping off time. I wanted to get something positive on the board.
Yeah, it's a risky ploy.
One step out, you know.
And then, exactly, there's no time
bad
left
attack.
to get back. Yeah. There's another nice effort there. And now I would burn it. From 40 odd, I'd burn it. Because if he gets another 30 seconds here, great. But yeah, not at minute 40, I wouldn't have done that. But that's probably why
We're sitting here
being
and
world
he's down there.
champion.
Yeah.
Ooh. He was close. He's strong. That was strong. And he's still going for the turn there. He still fancies his chances.
But this was the same position. He's got to be careful. This is close to what was happening with Gerby.
Yeah.
See, that leg caught in there still.
The leg caught in there. That was the difference. Well spotted. That was the thing. Had the leg caught, so he could afford to go for the turnover. Because if anything went wrong, just close up the legs.
Right. Well, you saw the position of the body was perfect. It was exactly like Gerby. The difference was the leg.
Yes. Oh, nice effort at the end from Alain Schmidt. But it put Nifotov onto his front, so there won't be a score there. And it's Ivan Nifotov.
Well, you can imagine if there had been a score like a Yuko there, how disappointing it would have been. And that's the thing with trying to burn off time with 2 minutes and only a penalty up on the board against your opponent. But he's done it.
I think they're getting ready for the medal presentation already.
We do have one fight left. There's a crowd pleaser right there.
Ivan Nifotov of Russia takes the bronze medal in the under 81 kilo category.
There you go. Another day, a little bit of hardware for the home team.
They're putting on a show. It may not be the most, well, there are no gold medals in there.
That's right.
And at the moment, this crowd are saying, so what?
He gave them something to cheer
Exactly.
about. That's it.
That's what
what
they
I want.
want.
Give me something to cheer about.
Give me some entertainment. Let me feel that we've had some success and I'm good to go, you know?
And, you know, despite the fact there were no scores, that it doesn't mean there were no throws. He threw 4 or 5 good ones.
Yeah.
Just couldn't control on the landing. There it is. See that he had a chance to get that leg out. Oh, that's on the first turnover.
Yeah. Well, at the moment, this is a very, very successful event for the host nation. Medalled every day, and given that they took 2 bronze medals in the men's event in Rio, you know, that was it. They came away with 2 bronze medals from the men.
They already got a couple of those.
Right, here we go then. It's the final of the under 81 kilo category. Avtandil Chirikishvili of Georgia faces Antoine Valois-Fortier of Canada. It'll be Chirikishvili in the white judogi and Valois Fortier in blue.
Well, pretty much everyone expected the Georgian to be here. Canadian, I think, is big surprise. Not to disdain him anyway. Just such a tough category, so many strong judoka. It would be an incredible upset, I think. What is the rank? What, the rank of?
He's pretty good because he's had some success on the circuit. I'm not sure where your sheets are. I would say where he was seeded. He was down in the lower half of the draw, I think. Seventh, I think. I think he was seeded 7th.
Very respectable.
It could even be as high as 5. I'd have to look at the sheets, but it's something along those lines.
Let's see if he can really turn up the afterburners here.
Pak and Penelba were good wins for Valois Fortier, and of course he ended up having to defeat the world champion.
Had a look there at Osoto. But that is the Georgian judo we've been looking for all day.
Now, the only question about this is whether it's worth Ippon. And
no, I'd say Wazari.
And none of us around here think it's worth Ippon. There you go. So the only thing that you can look at there is pressure in the middle for the referee. Just that little bit of pressure, because we didn't bat an eyelid. We all looked and said no.
It's easy to be sitting up in our armchairs, right?
We're sitting here, way away from the action, and in calmly, we can think, no, it's not calm out in the middle. You know, you've got a packed arena. It's a World Championship final, and your palms are sweaty. I imagine, because I've never been out there in a World Championship final.
Really, Sheldon?
I'm afraid not. This is as close as it gets. Slightly exploratory Uchimata attempt there from Chirikishvili. It's 2 phases to that as he hits and then goes down onto his back.
But even in the second phase, doesn't go flat.
And he doesn't go flat. Because by that time he's already beginning to defend, so he's keeping himself up. He never really goes fully on his back. You get some height up there, and there's a big bang, and whoa! I mean, someone throws you like that in a dojo, and you think, wow, geez, I'm just being dumped. But this is not the dojo. There are criteria for scoring these things. Because someone throws me like that in a dojo, and I get up and I say, that was good, pal. I got caught. I got really caught. Flew, I got dumped, and think. But no one's scoring in the dojo. Here, we need to determine what we're going to record in order to find out who the winner is.
What's the quality of the dump?
But in the dojo, no one's recording anything. You keep it in your mind if you like, but not going to get you a medal at the end of the practice, is it?
That was a nice little look there by Blue. A little bit of Haraigoshi there. Again, he's in the finals of the World Championship. He's down by Waza-Ari. Take the chances. Because if you come off this mat and you start to regret what you could have done, that's going to haunt you for a while.
Irakli Uznadze is the Georgian coach who's just been asked to tone it down a little bit. It's difficult when your man is less than 2 minutes away from taking a gold medal in the World Championships. Would you mind just toning it down a little bit?
Well, it's not just the guys at the tatami with the sweaty palms and the blood pressure going up.
No, there are going to be lots of fans all over the world watching and, you know, sitting on the edge of their seats. Every move is going to make them wince.
Well, especially Chelyabinsk is a really extremely popular 81 kilo judoka.
Yeah. We'll have him up here tomorrow, by the way, folks. Some of the Georgian entourage can't sit. They're on their feet. David Asambani, one of the coaches now. Super competitor in the past at under 60 kilos. Paris Grand Slam winner. He's on the coaching staff.
Couple looks, couple feints by both of them.
When he looked up then, he turned in and looked at the clock.
Yep.
He had to look at
The little
clock.
juke. And
Yeah.
Oh, by the way,
Yeah.
what do I got left?
on
A
that?
minute.
What's on that clock? Less than a minute now. Wazari the lead. Single Shido against Chelyabinsk. Could probably burn two.
Okay, you
St-
just
still
gotta
do
attack.
this.
Just there we go. Yeah, you have to go for it, man.
He was on the move there.
Got too deep, it looked like, for that Uchimata. It was somewhere between an Uchimata and Haragoshi. It was neither. And there's a Haragoshi look. Too far away.
Half a minute, and as we've said so many times before, the fighter who's behind is in exactly the place that he doesn't want to be. It's on the ground, having to defend with the clock running down.
.12 seconds left.
Just turn now. That's it. Chelyabinsk knows that he's taking the gold medal. A single second left on the clock. There's Nazi, a huge smile on his face.
Georgian team is
Celebrations.
celebrating.
Zabeda Rekviashvili was in there on the left-hand side. No one's going anywhere. He had to call the Hajime.
Yeah.
No one moved a muscle. Aftandil Chelyabinsk of Georgia is the world champion. And what a performance from Antoine Valois-Fortier today.
Hey, he got up there, got in the final.
That's worth mentioning.
The first awarding ceremony of the day. In the field holds will be the first of the day, women under 63 kilograms.
Well, we come now to the awarding ceremonies in the two weight categories that we've had today, 63 and 81. Just as we finish off with some of the highlights there, it'll be the awarding ceremony on the 63 kilo category for women first. David, your thoughts on Agbegninu as a worthy gold medalist from the field today?
Absolutely. You know, she wasn't as dominant as she has in some contests this spring, but she looked good, she looked solid, she got what she needed to do, and we saw some of her signature throws in the final against a very quality opponent.
Yeah, exactly. On the way to the final, Yardin Jerby looked good, smacking people over and then getting done herself. So no easy route there for either of them.
That's right. That's right. No, it was a great final. You know, I'm looking forward to next year. Can they go again, you know?
Toshiro Miku, not a total disappointment, I don't think. You know, bronze medal at the World Championships, not a total disappointment.
Well, you know, it reminds me maybe last year a little bit of Marty Malloy. I mean, initially it was disappointing. Well, in that case, Marty had actually gotten to the final, right?
Yeah.
But maybe the sting will wear off after a couple days. She has the points, but she's going to think long and hard about that mistake, which we saw in her bronze medal match. That was her go-to move in Newaza, and she blinked, she blew it.
But another medal for the Japanese women's team. They just missed out on the 52 kilo category.
That's right. That's right.
So 3 for 4, that's not too bad, is it?
Not too bad. A couple golds too.
And the men?
The men, well, Nagase had a shot at bronze, and I think that would have been a really excellent performance. Fifth is not bad, but I think from this point forward, Japanese men are going to have it. Well, Baker has a good shot at a medal, and after that, maybe a bronze for plus 100.
Okay, let's go down to the arena and have a look at the awarding ceremony.
Bronze medalist from Slovenia, Tina Trstenjak, and Portugal, Toshiro Miku.
Here come the bronze medalists. Tina Trstenjak of Slovenia picks up her bronze medal. And Toshiro Miku of Japan collects hers.
Silver medalist for Israel, Yarden Gerbi.
Well, she was world champion for a year. Here she is to collect a silver medal. And in the scheme of things, that's not a bad result. How can the silver medalist at the world champion think it's a bad result?
Since Rio, she hasn't had the strongest results, and to come back here at the World Championships and make the final is a statement that she knows when to step up.
The gold medal goes to Clarisse Agbenienou of France. Those two really have been the cream of the crop these last 12 months. One or either of them has been doing the business. And then at the end of the year, if we look at it from, you know, or this last 12 months, we look at this last event, they proved that what happened in Rio was no fluke. They are the best two in that category.
And a nice rivalry, a friendly rivalry, but a nice rivalry in judo right there. Look at that reaction after the ippon. Big smile. Reminded me of Takimoto Ayumi when she won in Beijing. Big smile. But that was actually during the throw.
I think there are going to be some tears here. She shed a few when she was leaving the mat. I think we may get a few more when the anthem strikes
when it really
up.
hits home.
Yeah. She's all smiles at the moment. She's trying to hold it together, isn't she?
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please all rise for the national anthem of France.
Now, the national anthem of France. Laetitia Blow was the French conductor leading that in the stands. She's a bubbly character. We'll see her in the team event. Tursteniak and Tashiro took the bronze medals. Jerby the silver and Agbegninu the gold. Now, once we finish the awarding ceremony in the men's under 81 kilo category, we'll give you some information about what's happening tomorrow. That'll be day 5, because we've got 3 weight categories on there. But the men, just a little bit about your impression of the men's under 81 kilo category then.
Well, Krishashvili, a very, very popular champion. Would have liked to have seen a Krishashvili Pietrek final. Didn't happen. Nagase, No, actually, I should be. I was just so disappointed the way he did not perform against Krishashvili. He didn't attack. He was just too conservative, too careful.
Both semi-finals were like that, weren't they?
Yeah,
just
yeah.
that little bit stilted, if you like.
They were static.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot going on in there.
You figured you get that close to the final and then don't want to pull the trigger. But it's done is done. And I'm looking forward to tomorrow, under 90 kilograms. See if Baker Matthew can step up. But geez, it's such a packed category.
Yeah, that'll be tomorrow. We'll have another chance to see the Georgians involved there, because we'll have Lepeteliani and Viniashvili. But before we do that, let's go down and have a look at the awarding ceremony in the under 81 kilo category. David Kevkishvili, the president of Georgian Judo Federation, in the middle there. Ivan Nifontov of Russia steps up to collect his bronze medal, and alongside him is Loic Pietri of France.
Two popular bronze medalists. Canadian had a nice result today.
Yeah, you know, he's been showing this kind of form, Antoine Valla-Fortier, since London. And given that he won the Olympic bronze medal, you know, it's probably where he should be.
Well, looking for another Canadian tomorrow with Kyle Reyes. Actually, no, that's the day after tomorrow, right? Kyle was under 100.
Yeah, day after tomorrow. Gold medal goes to Avtandil Cherikishvili, and there'll be plenty of celebrating tonight for the Georgians.
And that's the judo we've been looking forward to seeing all day, and he finally pulls it out in the final. Big Oranage. Didn't quite get Ippon, but that's a nice wazari right there.
Every look, you know.
The back arch, that throwing his head back and then turning. Gorgeous.
Every look says, not Ippon. And, you know, when players make a mistake, we talk about it. If the referee makes a mistake and they see it downstairs, you're done. That's it. You know, you're not featuring tomorrow. I feel really sorry when that happens. That's the way it works, you know. If you're not up to it, you need to take a rest.
Absolutely.
You saw it, I saw it, everyone around it saw it. So a moment just got that little bit too big for him, and hand went up instead of out. Right, Cherikishvili collects everything that they can possibly throw at him. check, trophy, watch,
Tiger.
and a tiger. And now the national anthem of Georgia. Last year, the silver. This year, gold. And the World Championship title for Chelyabinsk. What would Lipatiliani give to have that happen tomorrow? Last year, the silver. What about tomorrow? David McFall.
Well, Denisov, Baker, Lipatiliani. I don't know if Iliadis will make it, but just the strength, the depth of those pools, whoever comes out on top is so worthy.
Well, there could be a Georgian in the first place spot tomorrow. Could be Beka Viniashvili. He's definitely got a chance in there. He's got Kirill Voprosov in his quarter, as well as Denisov in his half, and Thiago Camilo of Brazil.
Can't forget him. That's right.
David's already mentioned Iliadis, and I really want to have a look at Baker Massio. I think the two fighters, leaving Valim Lipatiliani aside, the two fighters that I really want to see tomorrow are Baker Massio and Beka Viniashvili. That'll be terrific. Not necessarily against each other.
Right. Well, obviously, anybody who's listening to this knows that I have, a little bit of a nod toward the Japanese.
A little bit.
But looking at Paris and Tokyo and looking at the quality of opponents that Baker Matthew took out, he's going to be a man to reckon with tomorrow.
I don't care where he comes from. He's worth looking at. Just a terrific judo. Really looking forward to seeing him tomorrow. And speaking of tomorrow, we've got 3 weight categories to bring you. The men's under 90 kilo category and the under 70 and under 78 kilo categories for women. We'll be back at 11 o'clock tomorrow with all the live action from day 5, but from David McFall, Annette Berm, Lance Wicks, myself and all the broadcast team here in Chelyabinsk. It's bye-bye for now.
Take care, folks.